You have one precious life. How will you make your money work for you? It's time for Sage Money Conversations, where your financial happiness and confidence are always the subject. Here's your host, Certified Financial Planner, Barbara Norman.
Hello and welcome to Sage Money Conversations. I'm your host, Barbara Norman. Today I want to talk to you about the 5 F words. These are critical concepts that I think anybody who is working with an investment advisor or doing any kind of planning should really grab hold of and have. I also have a 6th bonus F word for you. So I was telling my friend and neighbor, Melissa, about my 5 F words, and she gave me a 6th bonus word. So stick around to the end because I'm going to give you a bonus F word. So let's jump in. The first F word, friends and family. Now, I just love this. I have been a financial advisor, financial planner for over 30 years, and I get some of the most harebrained calls, and they're usually from friends and family. And when we dig into what this friend or family recommended, typically it's highly risky. Typically it's not liquid. You can't get your money back out until they're done with the game. Friends and family, and my own family, I will tell you, is not immune to this. So I remember back, I hope I'm not embarrassing my family. I remember back in the 90s, the late 90s, one of my siblings came and said, hey, you got to get in on this investment. It's Global Crossings. They are laying fiber optic cables across the ocean floor, and this is going to make the internet so much better. You got to get in. Well, one of my siblings dropped 50 grand into it, 50. Well, you and I all know what happened with the internet. Things went up in the sky. They didn't go on the ocean floor. And that 50 grand corroded right alongside those Global Crossing cables. So had that sibling taken that same amount of money, $50,000, put it into an S&P 500 fund, it actually would have been worth $500,000 today. Roll the clock forward to cryptocurrency. One of my siblings calls and says, hey, 2 of the sibs are saying I should buy cryptocurrency. And I said, let's not have another Global Crossings moment, please. She did it anyway. You know where crypto's gone. We had another Global Crossings moment. So no one is immune. Maybe it's a good idea, maybe it's not, but use your head, A, and B, run it by a couple of people and get a reality check on it. But I think probably the best thing to do is when friends and family come up with an idea, maybe take that money and instead of doing the investment, go on a vacation. Because if you have a bad vacation or a bad investment, I guarantee you the bad vacation, the stories and the resentments are going to be way more juicy, way more enduring than the bad investment. So friends and family. The second F word, financial plan. If you don't have a written financial plan, how do you know where you're going or how you're going to get there? I think about if I'm going to the LA Coliseum and I'm going to see a concert, I don't go anywhere without my iPhone, and it's giving me directions all along the way. If I get off track, it tells me how to get there. If traffic's slow, if traffic's on time, it's letting me know where I'm going all the time. And a financial plan will do that for you as well. I remember back to one of my favorite Harvard studies. Harvard took 1 year, all of their MBA graduates, and they asked them on graduation, do you have clear and concise written goals for your future? Most did not. Some said, yeah, I have them, but they were in their heads. They weren't actually on paper. Only 3% of the graduates had clear, concise written goals. They came back 10 years later, Harvard, and they asked all of these MBA graduates 10 years later, how you doing? The 3% who had their goals written down were making more than 10 times the other 97% combined. Let me say this again. The 3% who had clear, concise written goals were making 10 times the other 97% combined. That is the power of writing something down. So if you want to get through this life and have it be really special and wonderful and retire and travel and do some amazing things, let's get it into a financial plan. The third F word, fee only fiduciary. When you are working with an advisor, I'm going to tell you, you must investigate these advisors. Why? Do you know what the requirements are, the educational requirements for someone to be a financial advisor? What are the financial education requirements? It's a high school education and 2 tests. That's it. Now, could you imagine if you had a doctor or a lawyer and all they had to have was 2 tests and a high school diploma? Are you kidding me? People are giving their life savings over to people who have some pretty pathetic education behind them. But if you're charismatic, tell a good story, what the heck, why not? We trust you. Don't do it. What is a fee-only fiduciary? Advisors in my industry get paid in one of 2 ways. They can either earn a commission or they can be a fee-only fiduciary. The first is commission. When somebody sells you an investment, and this is one of my biggest complaints about the financial services industry, if you paid a commission, there is no line item on your statement that shows what that commission was. That to me is pathetic. You could pay a commission up to 5.75%, and you don't even know it. You get your statement, I put $100,000 into it, it's worth 94.5, must have been the market. How do you know? So if you're working with a commission person, the other thing is when they make an investment, the investment only has to be appropriate for you at the time of sale. Now, if I earn a commission, I make sure your investment is appropriate at the time of sale. I have zero obligation to follow up with you over the years to make sure that this investment is still appropriate, that it still meets your needs. Not only that, if they got paid up front, they don't get paid to go back and see, are you doing okay? Do we need something new? If they do, are they going to charge you another commission? That's called churning. It's illegal. So be really careful when you are working with a commission salesperson. When you are working with a fee-only fiduciary, they have to make sure investments are appropriate at all times. Now, just imagine the market's changing, your life is changing, things are going through. Wouldn't you rather work with an advisor who has to keep up with you? I will tell you, a fee-only fiduciary, fees are paid by you, not by anybody else. And so that's kind of a scary thing, because now when you get your statements, you're going to see that line item that shows what your fee is and what got paid to that advisor. It is scary, but at least it's the devil you know versus the devil you don't know. If you're uncomfortable with any of these, my goodness, talk to your advisor. Ask, why, what's going on here. Let me also tell you that there are now hybrid advisors. A hybrid advisor will take both a commission and they will charge fees. Now, they can't do a fee and commission on the same investment, but maybe half of your investments are commissioned and the other half are fee. I would say buyer beware. The statistics show that if you are working with a fee-only fiduciary, and the study comes out of Vanguard, and Vanguard is right, they're big on DIY or low fees. But Vanguard did a study and they said, if you are working with an advisor, on average, you will earn 3% more. And it's not about the asset allocation and it's not about the mix of the portfolio. We can all do that. When you're working with an advisor, they are talking you off your ledge. In markets like this, we need some behavioral coaching, right? Don't sell this investment now. Markets are down. If you just hold on, here's the charts. Here's what it looks like. Maybe they're giving you some tax strategies. Maybe they're giving you some Medicare strategies. So don't be afraid of those fees, because a lot of the times the advisors can A, give you an investment with lower internal management fees, and B, they're going to help you as you go along. Now, 3% might not sound like a lot, but let's drive this one home. So in the Vanguard study, it showed that if you had $500,000 and you invested over 25 years, on average, working with an advisor, you would earn about 8%. So in 25 years, you'd have $3.4 million. Compared to the average investor, if they had $500,000, on average, they would have earned 5% over those 25 years. Their total would be $1.69 million. That is a $1.7 million difference, having worked with an advisor over those 25 years and not worked with an advisor. Can you imagine? What would you do with an extra $1.7 million? And I think that's how important it is to not let fees scare you, but to make sure that you are working with somebody good. So fee-only fiduciary, I am adamant you want to work with a fee-only fiduciary. And let me throw in another concept, certified financial planner. So a certified financial planner, their educational requirements are you must have a college education. They will have to have gone through some rigorous courses with the CFP Board. Their continuing education are greater than anybody else in the industry. And the best part is they answer to a board of ethics. So ethically, they're held to higher standards. So fee only fiduciary, look for a certified financial planner. I think that's the gold standard for advisors. Okay, so let's move on to the fourth F word. Forgive. Forgive yourself. There are times when we're just going to make bad investments. We always try and anticipate, like, where is the next best place to be? Kind of, where is the market going? Where's technology going? Maybe you bought Apple. Maybe you bought Global Crossings. Either way, forgive and move on. Don't dwell on your bad mistakes because, let's face it, they're going to happen. My fifth F word is fun. We only have this one precious life. In your financial plan, I want to see you planning your fun. Not fun for when you just hit retirement, but fun every single year. When we sit down in January, we're looking at what are those things financially that we have to do, and what are those fun things that we want to do? What's going to make this year, this 1 year special? And so we're going to put some fun in your financial plan. So there you have it. We had friends and family. We had financial plan. We have fee only fiduciary, forgiveness, and fun. Now, Melissa, I'm going to give everybody your sixth F word. So Melissa says to me yesterday, you put forgiveness and fun into your financial plans? That's fucking awesome. Okay, there you have it. We said it. We used the F word. If you don't like it, blame Melissa. But you know what, Melissa? I think it's pretty darn awesome that we write fun into our financial plans too. And if you want to start looking at this, if you want to do a financial happiness assessment with us, if you want to start looking at your life and saying, what can we do to improve our quality of life? How can we use our money to bring joy? Find me on www.sagepathsolutions. Come in, do an assessment. Let's have some fun. Let's look at your financial planning. Let's look at life, and let's make it a joy. We love our listeners. Thank you so much for sharing the 5 plus the 6 bonus F word with us. I hope you all have a great day.
Advisory services are offered through Barbara J. Norman, LLC, an investment advisor in the states of California and Texas. The information contained herein should in no way be construed or interpreted as a solicitation to sell, nor an offer to sell advisory services to any residents of any state other than the state of California, or where otherwise legally permitted. All content is for information purposes only. It is not intended to provide any tax or legal advice or provide the basis for any financial decisions. The information contained in this material has been derived from sources believed to be reliable, but is not guaranteed as to accuracy and completeness and does not purport to be complete analysis of the materials discussed. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of SagePath Solutions and are subject to change without notice.